What is danger? Is it the sharp edge of a blade, the roar of a predator in the dark, or the precipice of a great height? We often associate danger with things we can see, hear, and touch. But what if the most lethal thing in the world was something quiet, something unassuming, something that kills you slowly from the inside out just by being near it? What if danger had a shape, a form, a name? In the silent concrete tomb of a failed power plant, a monster was born. It doesn't breathe, it doesn't move, yet its mere existence is a testament to humanity's greatest technological catastrophe. This is the story of an object so perilous that to look upon it is to sign your own death warrant. An object that came to be known as the elephant's foot. The date is April 26, 1986. At the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Soviet Ukraine, a safety test goes catastrophically wrong. Reactor No. 4 explodes, tearing a hole in the fabric of the 20th century. The explosion releases a plume of radioactive material that drifts across Europe, an invisible cloud of death. But the horror was not just in the sky. Deep within the mangled heart of the reactor, a far more concentrated, far more sinister creation was taking form. The core melted. Nuclear fuel, control rods, concrete, and steel fused together in a superheated radioactive lava. This molten mass, a substance scientists call corium, burned through floor after floor of the reactor building, a relentless river of pure toxicity. It eventually came to rest in a steam corridor deep in the basement, solidifying into a grotesque, wrinkled mass. When first discovered months after the disaster, its shape reminded its finders of the foot of a colossal beast. And so it was named the elephant's foot. This monstrous object sits in room 217 halves, a forgotten chamber beneath the ruins of Reactor 4. To reach it is to navigate a labyrinth of darkness and decay, a place where the air itself feels heavy with the memory of disaster. When the liquidators, the brave men who were sent in to clean up the aftermath, first approached this area, they were venturing into the unknown. They had dosimeters, primitive by today's standards, that would shriek and max out long before they reached the most dangerous zones. They were walking into an invisible fire. The first photographs of the elephant's foot were not taken by men standing next to it. That would have been suicide. Instead, they were taken from a distance using mirrors or rudimentary robotic carts, the grainy images a chilling glimpse into the abyss. Each photograph is a ghost, a moment stolen from a place that actively tries to destroy any life that enters it. The human cost of Chernobyl is staggering, measured in the thousands of lives cut short, in the families displaced, in the land rendered uninhabitable for centuries. But the elephant's foot represents a specific concentrated form of that sacrifice. The scientists and workers who dared to study it in the early days paid the ultimate price. One scientist, Artur Korneyev, visited the foot more than anyone else. He took the famous photographs, he gathered the samples, all in the name of understanding this new, terrifying substance. He absorbed lethal doses of radiation time and time again. Though he survived longer than many of his colleagues, the radiation took its toll, leaving him with cataracts and a lifetime of health problems. He and others like him are the unsung heroes of this story, men who looked into the face of nuclear hell so that we could understand it, and so that we might prevent it from ever happening again. Their sacrifice is etched into the very legacy of this object. So, what makes the elephant's foot so deadly? It's all about the radiation. When it first formed, the radiation field near the mass was estimated to be around 10,000 roentgens per hour. To put that in perspective, a dose of 500 roentgens is fatal for a human. Standing next to the elephant foot in 1986 would have given you a lethal dose in under 30 seconds. You wouldn't feel it at first, but within minutes, the cells in your body would begin to break down. Your DNA would unravel. It's a silent, insidious killer. The radiation it emits consists of alpha, beta, and gamma rays. Gamma rays are the most penetrating. They can pass through concrete and steel and straight through the human body, shredding everything in their path. The object was literally a piece of an active nuclear core sitting exposed in a basement. It was, and still is, one of the most radioactive objects ever created by humankind. Over the decades, the elephant's foot has been slowly dying. The process of radioactive decay means its intensity has lessened. The most volatile isotopes have burned themselves out. Today, the radiation level is a fraction of what it once was. But that's like saying a great white shark is less dangerous than a megalodon. It is still profoundly lethal. You could now survive for a few minutes in its presence before receiving a fatal dose, but to stay for an hour would mean certain death. The object itself is changing. The smooth, black, glass-like surface it once had has started to crack and crumble. It's turning into a fragile, radioactive dust. This presents a new kind of danger. If this dust were to become airborne, it could be inhaled, carrying the poison of Chernobyl directly into the lungs of anyone unfortunate enough to be nearby. It is a monster that is slowly disintegrating, but its demise only makes it dangerous in a new, more insidious way. It is now entombed within the new safe confinement, a massive arch built over the old sarcophagus designed to contain the radiation for the next 100 years. But the foot remains, a silent patient in a concrete hospital, its condition slowly worsening. The elephant's foot is more than just a mass of radioactive material. It is a physical symbol. It is a monument to our ambition and our arrogance. It represents the moment we unleashed a power we could not control and the terrifying consequences of that failure. It reminds us that some mistakes don't just fade away. They solidify. They linger in the dark, poisoning the ground beneath our feet for generations. To contemplate the elephant's foot is to contemplate the very nature of danger in the modern age. It's not a beast with claws and teeth, but an invisible force born from our own ingenuity. It teaches us a somber lesson. The greatest threats we face may not come from nature, but from the things we create in our quest for power. It is a silent, grim reminder, resting in the darkness, waiting for the long, slow decay of centuries, a permanent scar on the face of the earth. Thank you for watching. If you found this exploration meaningful, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the world around us. Stay curious and stay safe.